family. One more time, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. We're back. You know what I'm saying? We're back and we're black. It's your boys from a puff a minute in the building, man. I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
It's the banker. What's good, people?
The banker's in the building with me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Here we are at Tapping Ash. You know what I'm saying? The home of the puff a minute. And it's time for another Cigars and Conversations, y'all. This is that time, y'all. We sit back on a Sunday afternoon. We might change it because football season is coming up, right? You know what I'm saying? So we might switch back to Saturdays. But for right now, we out here 1 week before, it gets official out here. You know what I'm saying? We get to talk about some other things besides just, the craziness that's going on in the politic world. But, and we just lay it down, man. We come to you straight off the dome. You know what I'm saying? We don't plan nothing. No notes. You know what I'm saying? We just light one up, man, and just have a conversation, man. So we hope that y'all, light one up with us. You know what I'm saying? The chat is open if you want to drop something in there.
Please.
Yeah, the banker's monitoring the chat right now. So we just gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. So you know how we do. Before we have anything to say, man, we always talk about what we smoking today.
Absolutely.
So what you working with today, bro?
Yeah, so this is a little bit special. So we just met this gentleman, right, from TLF Cigars.
Yes.
Hooked us up with these Havana Especials.
Yes.
So Connecticut wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan tobacco. Very nice, smooth smoke so far.
Okay.
It is a little, it's not dancing like I like it to.
Okay.
But it is a nice smoke. It's not too smoky.
Right.
It's very light. Like, if you was having your coffee, I'm actually drinking tea this morning.
Okay.
But with your coffee or whatever, this is a nice smoke. Has something light in the morning.
Nice. Yeah, he blessed us with those on Wednesday, man. It actually was my intention to, to join you on that. Because we told him, we said, hey, well, he blessed us with him. We said, we're smoking on the next episode and what have you. And I'm glad that you're doing that.
Yeah.
I kind of woke up this morning, man. I just, like I said, everything for me is just like I'm based on feeling and what have you, man. So I grabbed this T-shirt out of my closet today because I hadn't rocked it in a while, man. And it's, I just wanted to pay homage to my homie, man, Nick Malio, Foundation Cigars, man, because I ran into him up in Denver not Denver, but Boulder, Colorado last week at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival. What up, Nick? Buck Foundation. That's my man right there, man. He's a real good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is the T-shirt represents the wise man. So I'm smoking a wise man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So everything that Nick does, man, is straight out of Esteli, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful smoke, man. I didn't even really get into the notes and stuff like that, or the written notes. But again, this is a great stick. I hadn't smoked a wise man in a while. But he blessed me with this one, man. But everything that brother puts his hands to, man, bro, it goes without saying. Y'all already know about, Foundation Cigars. It is what it is, man. Like you said, the craftsmanship. This is one of the premier cigar makers in the game. So yeah, I just wanted to pay homage to him today. You know what I'm saying? I figured, I like to come on the show and try to spit a little wisdom, you know what I'm saying? So I figure if I wear a wise man T-shirt and smoke a wise man cigar, that somebody might say, you know what? That Cigar Mick is a wise man. And truth be told, they say he come from the East. I'm going to let that marinate. Y'all catch that later on. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up, family. So let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit, man, about the going-ons, man. So yesterday, just jumping right in, man. I got up in the morning and we was hit with some news, man. That was a little bit of bad news, man. Fat Man Scoop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That he just he passed away on stage doing what he do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it just really, man, it brings some things home to the fact that, again, I mean, we talk about this all the time about how tomorrow is not promised. And when I think about that, bro, it's like, it's bitter. It's bitter and it's sweet because, I mean, it sucks that a brother would go so early. What was he, like 52 or something? Or
he was young.
He was young, right? Yeah. But he did also go doing what he loved to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was on stage and, I saw the video, man. It was kind of unbelievable because, when I was up in here last night hosting here at Tapping Ash with the mic in my hand, man, and I remember the first one when I was just like, yo, Tapping Ash, y'all ready to have a good time tonight? You know what I'm saying? And then I paused and I took that next breath, you know what I'm saying? And immediately I was filled with gratitude. that I had that next breath. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, man, just thoughts. You know, on that, or
You know, Fat Man Scoop made one of the best cheerleading songs every time, man. He was like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." And I was like, man, so my daughter, I've been listening to that song since she was 5 years old, you know, doing competitive cheerleading and all that. But yeah, Fat Man Scoop, one of the best DJs, rappers we had around for like live music like that. You go to the club, man, just shut it down.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, like you said, tomorrow's never promised.
Yeah.
And for him to go that way, doing what he loved, you know, coming off stage thinking everything normal, and then boom, next you know, like you said, he wasn't able to draw that next breath. You know, and I was recently in the hospital myself. You know, I'm talking to family right now.
True,
so I'm like, hey, take care of yourselves.
Right.
I heard a comedian say one time, I knew Jesus was at the hospital that day. And I was like, shit, I'm going.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm one of them black men, them typical black men, don't get my blood work, don't go to the hospital, don't go to the doctor. And then next you know, I was like, hey, something ain't right. And my wife even had to look at me like, I know something wrong with you. You said you got to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
And sure enough, I was glad they fixed me up right. But yeah, man, you just never know. You never know, man. It puts a lot of things in perspective in your life.
It is, man. I mean, it does. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, that's a great point. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait until it's too late. I don't even think, I mean, it's still too early, man. I don't think they really came up with the causation of his death yet. I heard, I read one report that said something about he had just had like an energy drink or something like that before he went on stage and stuff like that, man. But, it could be a number of factors. On something. Of course, he was overweight, right? I mean, they call him Fat Man Scoop for a reason, right? But just something like that, bro. It's just, it ain't to be played with. Life is precious. But I really try to live these days with a certain, I would say, at least in this last season, this last year or so, with a certain type of mindfulness. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is I really try to take in the moments, right? And appreciate every moment. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds, it really sounds, really cute and stuff like that, but I really do. I pause, man, along the way and be like, yo, this moment right here, like, this is awesome. This is pretty cool. And try to have those moments of appreciation, because you never really know what that next one is going to bring. And it took, some real tragedy, you know what I'm saying, in my life, man, especially over this last year without, I don't want to keep getting into stuff and stuff like that, but to really get to that point, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was talking to a dude, a couple of weeks ago and everything, and he was just really going on and on about how his daughter, had gotten into it with her husband and had picked up the kids and came to Vegas to stay with him and his wife and stuff. He's like, man, I thought she was just coming for a week or two. She showed up with all her stuff. I don't know when she leave. She showed up like she here for good. She could at least told me this. She could have said such. I'm sitting there listening to this dude, and I'm like, bruh, but you got your daughter, son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what I would do, bro, to be in your shoes right now. You know what I'm saying? But when I hit him with that, man, to put it back into perspective, he's like, he forgot who he's talking to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, bro, like, for real, man, like, consider this, man, like, for real. So at the end of the day, man, it's like, it ain't as bad as you're making it to be, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. That was for somebody. I don't know who that was for, but that was for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, man. We gotta appreciate where we are.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Appreciate where we are, who we got in our lives.
Yeah.
All the above.
All the above, man.
You just never know. And, my wife gets on me all the time because she always has that saying, tomorrow ain't promised.
Yeah.
And so she's like, don't leave the house without giving me a kiss. Don't leave being mad. Don't leave without saying goodbye, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you just never know. You never know what could happen.
That's the truth there, bro. That's the real truth right there. You know what I'm saying? So, there's some other things that's going on, man. Like, we got to get into, let me see. Do we want to get into the DSC?
We have to, man.
We got to?
We have to.
Okay. All right.
We have to.
We got to talk about that a little bit. All right. Let's do it. So, actually, bro, I actually had an invitation from PCA, right? So they had a like a cigar reception,
Okay.
right? For the Democratic National Convention, they had a cigar reception in Chicago, and I received an invitation for that, bro.
Okay.
And I thought about going. I really did for a hot minute. I was like, "Yo, this would be cool. I want to go to this, right?"
Yeah.
Bro, hotels was no less than like 750, 100 a
Yeah.
night. And I
I'm
was
sure.
like, man, I'm not going up there. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, bro. But I thought that would have been hot just to go up there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think if you had gone to that reception, you know, you would be able to get a ticket to actually go to the DNC too, man. But anyway, I thought it was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was crazy because it was like it wasn't your father's type of national convention. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, bro.
Nah.
They had Lil Jon out there. Atlanta was acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what's going on right now? You know, they had DJ Cassidy up there, bro. I'm like, yo, what is happening right now?
Megan Thee Stallion one was the funniest stuff.
Yeah,
Because you look in the background, all these people was like, what the hell is
Exactly.
It was like, shoot, I was like, Kamala is out here doing like a Jackson 5 and Friends tour or something, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. But it was like, man, it was like every act was like top of the line artist that's out right now. I'm like, shoot, I'm expecting 50 Cent and Jay-Z to show up to the next CD or something.
Exactly.
I don't know. I was like, yeah, she's not playing right now when it comes to that aspect of it. But you know what? I was telling somebody this the other day, I was having this conversation. I said, even without her having, and I don't want to say it in a bad way, but I just know in the research that I've done and a lot of reading and trying to listen to the interviews, I haven't heard a real platform yet.
Okay.
But at the same time, but we say the same thing about Trump, right?
Yeah.
We say the same thing. What is his real platform other than, you know, trying to be a bully and all this other stuff, right, in the media?
Right.
But outside of that, you know, even without her having a platform, it really feels like the Obama days. When he ran his first campaign, it started 06, 07. He got real aggressive about campaigning. I remember he came to Vegas, and I was just graduating from high school, got a chance to see this man. I was like, man, I was just in awe and shock. And this was the first president I got to vote for was Obama. So I was like, okay, I was just in shock and awe just to see the momentum. And now here we are almost 20 years later, right? We're looking at what Kamala's doing. I'm like, man, it feels very similar.
It does.
It's like that grassroots. I'm going to talk to the little man. I'm not just going to talk to corporates and talk to my big donors. I'm talking to the little person and trying to do a real grassroots campaign. It really feels that way. It was almost good that she jumped in late because she had to do it that way. She didn't have to do. She doesn't have to do 2 years of speaking engagements and 2 years of exposure, right? Because she wasn't in the spotlight before as much, you know, as a VP. But now her running for president, it just looks and feels a lot different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. That feeling is definitely there. That excitement, that grassroots excitement and stuff like that. You know, and on the policy piece, man, like I feel like in a way, you know, did you see the interview? You know,
right after that,
the one
in Chicago.
The interview that they did this past week and stuff like that with Basham in the head, Lady Bash and stuff like that. Like, you know, so some of the questions, like they were like really like right wing talking points, and I get it and stuff like that. But she has to be able to handle those. I feel like they kind of protected her from these types of interviews in the beginning, but you got to face these things down. And I felt like the convention was a way of letting people know, like, this is coming. You know what I'm saying? Because I think even Michelle Obama was like, listen, it's not going to be like all good feels from here to the end. Like, there's going to be some things that's, you know what I'm saying, that y'all going to have to fight through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't going to be all feel good and stuff. It's going to be, you know, some opposition to this wave, so to speak. So I felt like she handled that interview well, especially particularly when it came to the question about fracking. You know what I'm saying? Because she said my values haven't changed, right? Not her position.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So basically, and there's a difference. There's a real difference because when you think about it, the only way you can be successful in politics, man, is sometimes you have to, you know, you have to grow and you have to be able to negotiate, You know what I'm saying? And give. It's a give and take type of a situation, right? If you're just gonna be staunch on something, you're not gonna get very much done. You know what I'm saying? So, but her values was always like she feels like fracking is not good when it comes to the environment. Okay, I get that, right? But now she's saying, well, she had to move on that a little bit because again, Pennsylvania, they very, very, dependent on fracking for the economy, right? So she's like, well, now, I believe that there's a way that we can do fracking without causing so much harm to the climate, climate control and all that type of stuff. There's a way that we can do it without causing so much environmental concern.
Yeah.
That's not saying that her values have changed.
Right.
Right. That's just saying that her position has changed to a place where she says, if we have to do it, let's find a better way to do it.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And I felt like that was a very intelligent way of coming to answer that question, so to speak, and what have you, man. And I just didn't really understand the question when the lady was like, well, Donald Trump says that you just turned black for the for the convention. I mean, for the election.
Yeah.
And I love the way she handled it. She's like, "Same bullshit. Next question." And essentially, you know what I'm saying? Essentially, that's what she was saying. Like, okay, yeah, whatever, man. Next question. She didn't fall for the trap, for the pitfall and stuff like that, man. But I feel like there's gonna be a lot more that I am looking forward to. September 10th. Not just because that's your boy's birthday. Yeah, y'all mark that shit on your calendar. September 10th. Yeah. I want to see 1,000 messages coming in to a Puff a Minute DMs. Happy birthday, Cigar Mint. All right. But anyway, because of the debate, which is absolutely the best birthday present that a brother could hope for, right? Because I just can't wait to just be sitting there with my birthday cake watching this debate, bro, because it's going to be awesome. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, man, because that's gonna be incredible. We live in a world today, I must say, right? I am going to transition here a little bit because we live in a world today where it's an upside down world because we believe that the things that we see on social media are real. You know what I'm saying? And the things that are right in front of us, we question. The things that we can come in contact with our five senses, we question. We can touch, taste, feel, whatever. But if we see something on social media, we have a tendency to believe its authenticity. There are thousands of people out there right now on social media who have convinced you that they are successful, who have convinced you that they have the answer to all of your problems if you just subscribe to this plan, if you just do this and if you do that, and they are living in turmoil themselves, right? Thousands of people out there, right? But, if you just buy my plan, if you just do this, if you just do that, if you just subscribe to, to this or whatever, you can be successful too when they're not successful in their own right. That's just one thing. But I'm saying that because what Donald Trump did this past week was absolutely despicable, okay? And what I'm talking about is that mess with Arlington Cemetery, okay? As a veteran, I'm telling you, that was absolutely despicable, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because what they tried to do, right, was they tried to go in there. This was the end game. First, I'm going to give you the end game, and then I'm going to give you the backstory, all right? The end game was to go into Arlington Cemetery, right, with their cameras, stand in front of these graves of armed forces who were killed during the evacuation of Afghanistan, right? And pretend, right, that this was a celebration in honor of these armed forces who lost their lives, okay, as they were evacuating Afghanistan, and to go on and shoot a commercial and then say that Kamala and Waltz refused to show up for this celebration. That's what they were going to do. That they were going to say that Harris and Waltz were invited to this celebration and they declined to show up. That was the plan, all right? It was never a celebration, okay? It was never anything like that for that. But now I'm going to tell you why it was so despicable, okay? First, they were invited by one of the families. First of all, it's against the law to photograph or shoot video in Arlington National Cemetery. It's hallowed ground, Okay, it's hallowed ground.
Okay.
These are, soldiers, sailors, airmen. These are people who lost their lives, right, for this country. It's against the law, right? And so they called ahead of time and asked, "Hey, can we shoot video? Can we take pictures?" They were told no. Okay, they were told no, right? Trump called this dude over at the Speaker of the House. He said, "Hey, make this happen for me." Speaker of the House calls over there. They told him, "No, you can't do that. It's against federal law. It's another violation of federal law, but hey, what's one more, right?" So they still proceed to show up there because they were invited by one family, right? They still proceed to show up there. Okay. And when they get there, the highest ranking person at Arlington Cemetery who stands in their way and tells them, "You can't come in here, you can't shoot video," they go straight ludicrous on her. They're like, "Move, bitch, get out the way." They push her out the way, bro. Right?
Damn.
And they proceed to do what they're gonna do, right? Now she had the opportunity to press charges, right? Because they pushed her and put hands on and stuff like assault. She didn't because she was, reminded about all of his followers, in January 6th. So what do you think is going to happen to you and your family, saying if you come out and try to press some charges and stuff? So due to fear, she didn't want to press any charges or anything like that, right? That's just a side note. But now I'm going to tell you why this is so despicable. There were 13 armed forces personnel who were killed during that evacuation at that airport, right? Okay. 13. There was 11 Marines, right? 1 Navy corpsman and 1 Army soldier, right? That was killed. Now I'm gonna tell you why they was killed, all right? Because when Trump was in office, not Biden, because again, Trump is trying to blame this on the Biden administration. When Trump was in office, okay, in his negotiation for the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan, he negotiated with the Taliban, right? Not the U.S. installed Afghanistan government, right? That we spent all of those years over there installing this government, right? But in his persistence in undoing everything that Obama had done, okay, he negotiated with the Taliban, all right? Who was the very ones that we were there fighting,
correct?
Right? Not just the what's the other ones? Osama bin Laden's folks, man. The other guys and stuff like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Nah, you making me lose a word.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he negotiated with the Taliban, right?
Yeah.
So those are the ones, okay. So that's the reason why because it was the Taliban, who was in the. So he was the reason, right, why that thing went the way that it went and whatnot. And then when Biden then was taking office, he made that transition of power so difficult that basically Biden and Harris' hands was tied, and they had to go through with the negotiation that he had previously had put into place.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So he's standing on the graves of the very people that he put everything in motion, that they ended up dead. Like real talk. That's why it was so despicable, bro. Yeah. I'm sitting back like, man, if people really knew the truth about what went down, bro, it would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's the real truth behind it, man.
And the fact that one, left them with limited troops. Yep. They started pulling out troops at an untimely manner. Secondly, all the decommissioned equipment that wasn't even usable during that time that they left there, by the way.
Yeah.
I think the number is almost $1 billion worth of equipment that was left there just because we evacuated so quickly, not in a timely manner.
Al-Qaeda was the one I was trying to think of.
Al-Qaeda, yes. But yes, that whole time frame was just ridiculous. And you're right. It was it was like a hangover from one president to the next, but they want to use that as momentum. Same thing happened with Bush to Obama, right? And we started talking about the economy, the crash of '08. How could he have ever had anything to do with the crash in '08?
Thank you. Thank you.
He was running for president '06, '07. How is he going to be responsible for the crash of '08.
Exactly.
Then you start turning that into what happened with Biden, right? You say, okay, we're going to blame him for why we weren't prepared for a global pandemic and why we didn't have enough troops at the time there was another attack. Then we weren't prepared for something as crazy as January 6th. Like, one thing after another, they're going to make it, one party's fault over another.
Yeah.
And of course, Biden had his issues and stuff, him falling off the bike, how many times he fall downstairs during his term, and everybody's like, he's just a bumbling president, not realizing what he was really dealing with in the background.
Exactly.
And to your point you was making earlier, but I always have to get on you because you're different than most people, right? So you have a debate background. You always tell this story about how you was good at debating. Your mom got you coached up and stuff like that. So I'm like, you look at these from a perspective most people don't, right?
Right, yeah.
So when they come into these situations and they hear Kamala getting just getting took through the ringer with some of these questions, I'm like, everybody's looking at it from one point of view. But what you have to do in a debate, right? You have to look at it from multiple points of view because you have to be prepared for multiple different points of rebuttal and reaction, right? And like you said, she probably handled it the best way she could in that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
She probably handled it the best way she could in that moment because they, like you said, they're going to continue to press her.
Oh, yeah.
And when we start talking about September 10th debate, that's the opportunity for one, her to be prepared, and then two, to actually have a platform or be able to respond to a lot of the negativity, right? He's going to keep bashing her, talking about she just became black. He's just going to keep bashing her that Biden didn't do this and Biden didn't do that, right?
Why haven't you, if you're going to do all of these things, why haven't you done anything yet? That type of stuff.
And I always feel like the only thing with her is like, whether good or bad, she just always going to have to live up to her past, being the AG in California and being was she in the Senate in California too? And dealing with that kind of history, how she voted on certain things, some of the things that she had to do basically as the top cop of California, right?
Exactly.
She didn't make the laws, but she had to enforce them. So, but people are going to blame her for things like the 3 strikes law. People are going to blame her for the whole super predator thing,
right?
Because California was one of those states where it just went rampant, starting to call these kids super predators and stuff.
But you know what I'm saying? But first of all, he doesn't have any political history like that. And the history that he does have, they don't hold it against him.
Well, the Central Park 5.
That's what I was getting ready to go to. What about the Central Park? Nobody brings that up. You know what I'm saying? Like his history, right, of being a slumlord, his history of, paying, take out a full page ad to, slander and like literally hang him in the press, the Central Park 5. His history of all of these types of things, but they don't even talk about.
Never bring it up.
You know what I'm saying? And even of the recent stuff, everybody's just like poo-poos it and tries to put it under the carpet, man. The level of
you almost have to call it hypocrisy, right?
Yes, hypocrisy is ridiculous, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. But yet you want to hold her to this high standard, and hold him to no standard, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, the hypocrisy. You want to shoot an ad, in Arlington National Cemetery, bro. First of all, a false ad, right? This is the main person who goes around talking about fake news.
Yeah.
You want to shoot your own fake news ad in Arlington National Cemetery, okay? On the graves of people who have given their lives for this country. You never served a day. You never served a day. As a veteran, I'm saying, you never served a day. You went on national TV one day and you said, first of all, that what did he say? He said he had like bone spurs or some shit. That's how he dodged the Vietnam War, from bone spurs. He said that he served this country by dodging STDs in college instead of dodging bullets in Vietnam, bro.
Oh my God.
Come on, son. Seriously?
Man. You know what's bad is as much real estate him and his dad owned in New York, his dad never did the stuff he did. Never had the same principles as him when it came to running business and all that stuff. And like you said, none of that ever gets brought up.
But veterans support this dude, and that's something I just can't understand. I can't understand that, bro. Like, why?
There's a lot, man. I've had conversations with some of them. The ones that were in service during his time, though, a little bit different perspective. But the retirees, absolutely. For some reason, they felt like he would be hard. And it was so funny. One of the things I was going to bring up, too, was like the DNC, they brought back the old Clinton model of being tough on crime and all of that.
Yeah.
I said, where the hell did this come from?
Right,
They
yeah.
bringing this shit back?
Yeah,
and I was like, don't you know he said sorry? He had to come apologize while his wife was running for office because of all those things. Exactly. And I'm like, he was like, I got it wrong. Yep. And he got so upset he started yelling at him. I got it wrong.
You know, but that's the way this thing flip flops, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because again, you know, right now the Democrats are trying to woo those moderates, right, and even some of the Republicans, you know, saying common sense Republicans, I should say, you know, is what I would call them, who know that this dude is just way out there. Yeah. Right. So they're just trying to say, listen, you know what I'm saying? We do hold some of the conservative values that you're looking for, but with a common sense candidate, so to speak, you know. And literally, man, like historically speaking, like the Republican Party used to be the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party used to be the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? No different than the Taliban used to be the Afghan freedom fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, good used to be bad, bad used to be good. And, you know, this is the way things flip-flop throughout history, so to speak. So, you know, and at some point, things are going to come more to the center, and then they're going to cross over again, right? So that's just the way things go. But at this point, I mean, to me, there's only one clear choice right now, man, because again, the demagoguery of this guy, man, and you know the direction. I mean, when somebody tells you who they are, man, you know, it used to be like if someone shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah. Right. This dude is telling you who he is. Like, why would you not believe him? You know what I'm saying? He's telling you what he wants to do. He's telling you. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, that's just, you know, that's just Trump being Trump. Yeah, that's Trump telling you who
his
Trump
actions are backing up his words, and his words backing up his actions.
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
But you know what that is too, is a lot of times people don't know their history. So they come in, they say, oh, I'm gonna be a Democrat, I'm gonna be a staunch Democrat. Okay. You know, most people in recent history probably remember Kennedy more than they remember, of course, an Abraham Lincoln story, right? When you start talking about Abraham Lincoln didn't necessarily just free the slaves; it was a political move as well as it was an economic move at the same time.
Political move first.
Yeah. It was under the Republican Party.
Exactly.
That didn't happen under the Democrats. Exactly. And then you start talking about the Democrats. What did we get? We got things like FDR giving us free services and welfare and all these kind of things, creating systemic problems for us. Not just to say, okay, we're going to climb you out of this situation, but no, it became a systemic problem. And that even got worse when we had an opportunity to actually vote. We got our voting rights and everything else. Then what we were voting for? Social services more than we were voting for economic empowerment. Exactly. And even as a conservatives, as Republicans, they were always talking about economic power until it kind of once again flip-flopped because people didn't know their damn history. And stuff just started changing from the 60s to the 70s. But once again, that's just one of the things. Please, I tell you, pick up a book, read. Pick up a book and read. Absolutely. I'm like, it's just too much history that we don't know. So we fall into these ruts where we create our own problems. Exactly. And we become our own worst enemies in a lot of ways.
That's it. Exactly right, brother. Exactly right, man. You know?
But like I digress, man. We can't be the only two that know this stuff. It can't be, Mick. It can't be.
It can't be, bro. It can't be, man. You know, I saw something, man. I do want to say this, right? So, because I saw that you commented too, right? So there was a young lady on IG, and she it was Cigar Art Girl, something Dallas, I want to say, and she said, she just came straight out and said, hey, you know, I'm voting for Trump, you know, and, you know, if you got a problem with that, I'm sorry. And she's like, you know, but it would be, if you have a real problem with it, you can unfollow me. She said, but it would be a shame to lose friends, you know, and family over something as silly as to who I'm supporting. Like that, you know. And I commented back. I said, "Listen, I respect your choice. You know, I said not my choice, but I respect yours. You know, thank you for participating in the process. You know." And she commented back, "Thank you, Puff Minute, boom, 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 blase, blase." And I saw that you had made a comment too, man, and stuff like that. But honestly, that's the way it should be. I don't think it should be all of this vile, back and forth. And, I mean, everybody gets a choice. Everybody
Yes.
gets one choice, man. And I know that everybody that listens to me and my perspective or your perspective out there is not going to agree with us. Everybody's got their own, but, everybody hasn't walked in my shoes. Everybody hasn't lived my life. Everybody's not going to see things the way that I see them and stuff like that. And they don't have to necessarily agree with me. That's it. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Get your own platform and talk about how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I'm not going to sit up there and argue with you. I'm not, like I said, I live in a mindfulness place now. You know what I'm saying? Or this, that, and other thing. And you can follow, you can unfollow, you can, and as a matter of fact, I welcome if you want to put up a bunch of negative comments and stuff like that, I welcome that too. But at the end of the day, that moves us nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really doesn't. It doesn't move us forward. It doesn't do anything, man. So I just wanted to say that because I wanted whoever is watching, I want them to know I respected that young lady's, choice and even her voice to come out and say, hey, this is who I selected and this is who I'm voting for. It is what it is, man. I'm not against people who are pro-Trump. You know what I'm saying? That's just your choice. I don't think it's a good one. You know what I'm saying? From where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
But like I said, it ain't mine.
But like for us, right? We fringe voters, right? So we're all the ones that they're always trying to convert to bring over to their side. You say, okay, well, my platform is better than their platform. But you know what I respect more out of a politician? I've heard Kamala actually say this, is I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Just to be real enough to just give that response versus all the BS and the rhetoric, like just to say I don't know.
Nobody has all the answers, bro.
Because it's
you gotta figure out.
It's about compromise anyway. Like you just talked about the fracking situation, right? At the end of the day, there's going to be some level of compromise.
You have to.
But to sit there and say, I don't know enough about the issue to say one versus the other side, I respect you more for that than getting up there and say, oh, it's been terrible for business. And you start using all these superlatives and shit, and it's like has nothing to do with what the real platform and the answer is. Exactly. But just to say, oh, it's the worst thing could ever happen to America, right? Exactly. You started talking about NAFTA. You started talking about these different things that Trump has spoken over the years and just say, it was the worst thing could ever happen to us. Why? Right. Tell me why. Exactly. Maybe I don't know enough about it to say, because when NAFTA was passed, I was still in elementary school.
Exactly.
So I'm like, shit, maybe I don't know enough. Mm-hmm. But just to get up there and say it was the worst thing could ever happen, the Democrats did this, they did that, Hillary voted on it, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then, like I said, for him right now, he ain't got much to say against Kamala because she hasn't come out just saying I'm going to just lay out a platform for you to destroy in the media. Yep. All you can talk about is I'm recently new to the black community.
Exactly.
We need to do the Dave Chappelle skit when we was drafting black white people. I was like, the black delegation selects Tiger Woods. I was like, hell yeah. So I was like, maybe we need to go do that.
Do a draft.
They start drafting the black delegation selects Eminem or something, Because I'm like, we'll do it with Kamala. Just the black delegation get together, and we have selected Kamala Harris to be a part of the black delegation.
Right, exactly. That's crazy, bro. That's funny though.
But it's like, it's funny how comedy imitates real life, right? I feel like that's what we're going through. I was like, you got to get that granular into the argument where you talking about whether she black or not.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But what's crazy about it, bro, is. See, I don't even want to go that deep, bro. I really don't even want to go that deep because, what is black? And, what I'm saying, that was a term that was created by the same people who are now trying to tell you that you're not black. You know what I'm saying? So again, to me, that's just, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've accepted these terms, man, that again, did not exist, you know what I'm saying, 200, 300 years ago and what have you. The only reason why these terms even exist today is because of the institution of slavery in America, bro. Because you had to justify
that part.
You see what I'm saying? You had
black was evil. Black was dirty.
You had to justify that institution. So you had to seemingly make one class of people seem like they had the right to enslave another class of people. Yes. So you had to create these, I'm gonna leave it right there.
But once again, they had to create institutions, right? I think about a perfect example, right? a personal one for me. My wife's family being from Trinidad.
Yeah.
When my mother-in-law came to Nevada or came to the U.S. and went to New York and came to other states, she didn't even know what black meant, and people were calling her black. She said, "I'm not black. I'm Trinidadian."
See, I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go deeper. So, in New York every year, they have this parade, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Caribbean parade, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing, right? Because you know, as a black man in America, I never really felt like I was part of this thing, but you'll have people out there and they'll have the Trinidadian flags and they'll have their Jamaican flags and they'll have their flags from Guyana and they'll have their, Barbados and Bermuda. They'll all be out there. It's like a whole Caribbean thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like festival and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's really cool, man. They have all the food and stuff. And then, one day I heard somebody say, this is kind of, crazy though, but, every one of those flags, right? They're all the same people, right? They were all stolen from Africa, dropped off in different places, right? Yeah. And they were all, under British conquest. Yeah. See what I'm saying? They're no different than the blacks in America. Yeah. They're all the same. But they got all of this pride, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so on and so forth. But they're all just part of the same diaspora. Yeah. See what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting back like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And it is funny. Like, I've heard people from the Dominican Republic say they don't consider themselves black.
Puerto Rico?
I've seen some of them darker than me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I remember Paul Mooney had a joke about that one time. He said, why y'all, acting like you just got off the boat first? What are you tripping? You know what I'm saying?
We got dropped off a little later.
Yeah, you just got off the boat first. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. Well, yeah, it's true, though. It's crazy, bro.
And there's parts of the country that still have that mentality. I'm going to Memphis next week, and I'm like, shoot, I already know what it's going to be like. Slow motion. Yeah. People that are just so unintelligible, don't even understand the circumstances that they're living under. And guess what they'll do? They'll go right to the polls and vote for Trump. Yeah. But it's just like they just have no perspective of anything outside of Memphis. It's the craziest thing. Wow. But I'm sure it was like that in Jersey and New York, right? Yeah. These people never left a 2-3 block radius.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Exactly right, bro. Exactly right. No worldview. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know what time we started, but
I don't know, man. We get off on tangents, and we just lose track of time. We just be running. Y'all know we just hanging out.
Yeah, that's what we do. It's what we do, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying this wise man. You know what I'm saying? Does it fit though? Does it fit?
This wasn't a bad smoke, so I gotta give a shout out to TLF. Like I said, it was a nice little Connecticut smoke like it was supposed to. This was a shorter one. I wasn't smoking it like a cigarette. Gotcha. But there's a little shorter stick, so it smoked a little fast. But definitely good smoke. But this is good. If you only got an hour to kill, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, not a bad smoke for that time frame.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wonder if Mel is carrying that one in the lounge, man. I saw.
We gotta see.
Yeah, that's what's
up.
But
a little after lunch, a little early breakfast.
There you go.
So
there it is.
But man, you ready to close them out? I think we're gonna close them out.
Yeah, I think we'll let them go, man. We gave them a lot, man. We need y'all to go do a little research now. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, my 12-year-old watches a puff a minute.
That's real.
And then she come home and critique me. Yeah. And say, Daddy, you should have done this. And Daddy, I saw this on TikTok. I say, okay, so I know people watch it. Yeah. People watch it. I'm like, I don't let her on social media though. So she has to watch it on my wife's phone. But anyway, I tell everybody, man, do your research. Yes. Get your own information. Don't take a puff a minute as gospel at all. We two brothers just spitting our opinions about life and experiences, whether shared or not shared, that we can kind of talk about when we get on the show. But yeah, man, do your research.
That's what it is, family. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for joining us, man, for another, Cigars and Conversations with a Puff a Minute. Like I said, we out here. We looking forward. There's a lot of stuff coming up, man. So, we got, like I said, I was up in Rocky Mountain last week. That was a lot good time and stuff like that. I know Big Smoke is in the future, man, that's coming down. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking forward to that in a couple months and everything. Up until now, man, right now, man, everybody should be focused. I don't care. Like, this is my public service announcement, right? Real talk, man. If you're not registered to vote,
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? We got like, I don't know, maybe like less than 67 days. I don't even know, bro. You know, I don't know what the count is, but
2.5 months, something like that.
make
bro.
sure that you get out there, get registered to vote. You know what I'm saying? Talk to 2 or 3 people, man. Make sure that they register to vote, man. And then, you know, in all you're doing, make sure that you get out early vote. I'm gonna put that out there, like early vote, man. Don't even wait till the polls open, like early vote. You know what I'm saying? I talked to Smooth, man, but radio station personality here, and you was at an event when we was at. They was talking about doing a early voting drive here at Craig Ranch Park. I really hope that thing comes together. I told them that I want to be a part of that if it does come together. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get a puff minute out there, man. Encourage some folks to get out and do some early voting and stuff like that, man. But again, I definitely want to encourage people to make sure that you exercise your civic duty. And don't just vote in the presidential, you know what I'm saying? You hear cigar bankers say it all the time. You know what I'm saying? This is huge. This is very huge, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they can't do anything, man, unless you vote, you know, for Congress and Senate and, you know, all that other stuff as well down the line, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be, you know, not just 2024, but, you know, after that, you need to get on your game and get ready for 2026. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we need people to start getting involved in the process, because if not, you know, that the reason why we're in the boat that we're in right now, right, is because 2 years ago, you know, they were stacking judges, they were stacking, like they already, man, like really, like right now, you know, the thing that I'm most nervous about is the certification process. You know what I'm saying? Because right now they have stacked, you know, these offices, you know, with people who are more inclined to be like, you know, it's still a human process when it comes to, you know, certifying those votes and stuff like that, right? And again, I'm a little nervous about that piece right there, unless it's a landslide, right? So I'm calling for a landslide. I'm calling, don't make this thing close, y'all, because if it's close, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be real ugly.
Absolutely.
Real talk, y'all.
But you're right, man. You hit it on the head. Like I said, we got session coming up next year, early January, February. They'll be heading out. So it's a lot of stuff going on, man. Pay attention to your local politics as much as you pay attention to the national level. Don't just be watching the show, because it's really a show right now. It's like, it's fine. Keep the momentum. Like you said, we can make it a landslide, whatever. But pay attention to the details. Don't get lost in the minutia, all this nonsense. So all that good stuff. But yeah, like we always tell you, man, we gonna close it out. We always say, man, go to YouTube. Keep doing what you're doing on Instagram first. Like, share, comment. Those of you who are on live this morning, please give us a shout out, a good morning once you catch it. If you're just getting out of bed, you might still be trying to get your little break in your head. But man, tap in with us. Keep doing what you do. Show us love on Instagram. And take it over to the library when we're on YouTube. Like we keep telling you guys, we got the whole library for the last several years of a Puff a Minute. From the time we started backyard to being right here at our home base in Tappan. So go check that out as well. And then of course the podcast. We keep talking about the podcast. That's one of the best ways to stay tapped in. If you're in traffic, you're in Cali, you're in New York, you're dealing with some of that East Coast or West Coast traffic, Atlanta, make sure to put a Puff minute in your car, put a Puff minute in your headphones while you're at the gym. Tap in with us that way. We're on every podcast platform, Apple Music, Pandora, the whole nine. Check us out as well. I think with that, that's good.
That's it, baby. You know what I'm saying? This episode will be up on the podcast in the next 24 to 72 hours. Just give me a little time to get it set up and get it up on this platform, Spotify, all that type of stuff. All right? So other than that, man, thanks for joining us for another Cigars and Conversations with a Puff a Minute. One more time, I'm your man, Cigar Mick. And we out of here, family. We'll see you next week. Good luck with your teams, your NFL teams. You know what I'm saying? Go Giants. Go Giants. That sounds funny. All right, family. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.